There's a place where I stand every day, where I look out just a few miles away from here, and I see where 16-year-old Octavio was shot, where 17-year-old Gustavo was killed, and where 18-year-old Chuy was shot down in cold blood. See, for 5 years I worked with gang members here in San Diego, and I just found this, I found all these, a picture of it, all the things that I found in my truck that had fallen out of their baggy pants and their pockets in my truck. And that's the knife right there that stabbed me. So how do we go from that type of normal to this type of normal? Students in that same neighborhood becoming first-generation college students. Came really with an epiphany. See, once you get out of college, once you get out of school, you can start to read the books you want to read instead of the ones that the teachers are assigning you. And I read a book that said everything I was doing with the gang members for 5 years was completely wrong. And the worst part was, by the time I finished that book, I agreed with them 100%. See, there had been the shootings and the killings, and even I myself got stabbed by one of those 3 people that I mentioned. And when I was sitting there in that hospital room, in the emergency room at UCSD, I came to a conclusion during the same year while I was teaching that it's just not right that most inner city teenagers today know more people who have been shot or killed in the street than people who are on the road to college. So I decided to change the conversation and stop talking about the negatives, about don't do drugs, don't be in gangs. The more I talked about drugs and gangs, the more drugs and gangs they did. So I said I'm only going to talk about how to become a first-generation college student. $300 in 2001. Fast forward to today. 15 years later, the students will have earned over $100 million in scholarships from all sources. And here's the secret. Gang prevention programs don't work. Why? They cast too wide of a net. They think everybody that they talk to are going to be in a gang. Also, they hype up the negative behaviors that they don't want to see, which, what's the result? Normalizes those similar behaviors. It's kind of like if there's a such thing as a tightrope of adolescence, every kid in America, whether they're born in City Heights, La Jolla, Alabama, it doesn't matter. They have to get from the safety of childhood to the safety of adulthood while crossing this perilous path, the tightrope of adolescence. And all those well-intentioned programs out there, like what I ran for 5 years, that said, don't do drugs, don't be in gangs. It's the equivalent of yelling at the kid on the tightrope. It's like, hey, don't look down. It's well-intentioned advice, right? But counterproductive. And so what Reality Changers does, this scholarship program, we have the students focus on accomplishing their goals on the other side of that tightrope, while they hold on to the program as their balancing pole, as they themselves learn how to take the steps necessary to get safely across to the other side. To bring the point home, you guys like audience participation? All right, you only have to raise your hand. It's not very hard. But before I came up here, during the intermission, I put something here in this podium that's very, very, very dangerous. And if any of you come up here and see what's behind this podium, it will cause you and all of your family members great harm. So whatever you do, please don't see what's behind this podium. Okay, now how many of you want to see what's behind it? All right, game number 2. You guys see Let's Make a Deal? All right, I have 3 doors. There's 2 on the sides, and there's 1 in the middle. Door 1, door 2, door 3. You have to choose which door you want. If you decide to leave tonight through door number 1, I'm going to double your salary for the rest of your life. If you decide to go out through door number 2, I'm going to give you a PhD, just like that. And if you decide to go out door number 3, I'll give you the car of your dreams for the rest of your life. You can have a new car every year. So you have to vote now. How many want door number 1, double your salary? Door number 2, PhD. Door number 3, car of your dreams. Okay, now wait a minute. How come none of you want to see what's behind the podium anymore? Why? Because I wasn't offering it as an option? I wasn't hyping it up? That's what gang prevention programs do. So in their place, I advocate for promotion programs. Promote what you want to see happen. Promote first-generation college students. Promote whatever you want. See, there's a place where I stand every day. It's the same place as before. But when I look out, Now I see where Eduardo lives. He was facing 6 years in jail until the judge offered him a chance to join Reality Changers. Now he goes to San Diego State. I see where Alicia lives, where she used to. She used to be homeless. Now she's at Harvard. And I see Edmundo, who had a 0.0 GPA, now at a 3.5, was able to go to UCSD last summer. See, for prospective members, gangs don't have a waiting list. So why should Reality Changers have a waiting list? Why should any promotion program have a waiting list? Hopefully together, we can change that reality.